A Bookworm's Journey in the Cardinal World. Tensura X Ascendance of a Bookworm by Galaxycharmer123. 11 Daily life in Tempest. Third-person POV. After the summit concluded, a grand banquet was arranged for all the participating members. The atmosphere was lively, filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses. Various dishes were prepared, and Myne was overjoyed to see familiar local dishes from her previous life. "This is so good. I never thought it was possible to get food like we had in Japan," Myne exclaimed, savoring each bite. "I tried really hard. White rice was a problem for us, but with effort, we were able to make it," Rimuru replied, pleased with the positive feedback. "Really, this tastes so good. I never had such good food back in Ehrenfest," Myne continued, her eyes shining with delight. "Speaking of Ehrenfest, can you describe it from your perspective as a commoner? I want to learn about it as I will be vassalizing them and will impose some rules on them," Rimuru inquired, his tone curious. "Sure, but please don't overdo it. The people already have it worse," Myne warned, her voice gentle. "Don't worry about it. Now, inform me about the history from your perspective," Rimuru encouraged, eager to learn. Ferdinand had told Rimuru about the history of Ehrenfest, but he skillfully omitted various parts that he knew Rimuru would not like. After coming to Tempest, it was abundantly clear that Tempest, unlike Ehrenfest, actually cared about the lower strata of people, and Rimuru would not like it if he were to find out how they treated their commoners, even after they were punished for it by the gods. In Ehrenfest, we are told we were previously in a different world compared to this one, where we were part of a larger kingdom. But they were punished by the gods and sent here to this world. The nobles have twisted the story to suit themselves by painting themselves as our saviors and the gods as vengeful when they punished them for refusing to take care of their own people. They portrayed the gods as casting them out because they were poor and deserved to die, but the nobles saved them by acting as a shield between the commoners and the gods. They used this authority to rule over us with an iron fist while they lavished themselves by charging us undue high taxes," Myne explained, her voice steady. "How do you know the actual story then?" Rimuru asked, interested. "The actual story is well known in Ehrenfest, even by the commoners, but the mana disparity between us and them has prevented us from speaking out to them," Myne replied, her tone somber. "So they are good-for-nothing nobles who don't care about anyone but themselves then?" Rimuru concluded, his voice tinged with disdain. "Not all nobles. There are some who have decided to learn from their previous mistakes and improve, but most are the same," Myne clarified, her voice hopeful. "So I will need a list of all these nobles as well as a list of the nobles who incited an attack into our country." Rimuru mused, his mind working. "Soy, are you there?" Rimuru called, his voice firm. "Yes, my lord," Soe replied, appearing seemingly out of nowhere. "Whoa, where did you come from? I couldn't even sense you despite my heightened perception," Myne exclaimed, startled. "Soy, I want you to get me a list of all the nobles who attacked us as well as all the nobles who are unfairly charging high taxes," Rimuru instructed, his tone decisive. "I already am on it. I have sent one of my clones after Ferdinand when he left for Tempest. He has reached Tempest, and I will have the information by tomorrow," Soy reported, his voice efficient. "Quick as ever. Keep up the good work," Rimuru praised, his tone approving. "Thank you, my lord," Soy replied, disappearing as swiftly as he had appeared, leaving a stunned Myne behind. "I will never become your enemy, Rimuru," Myne declared, her voice firm. "Where did that come from?" Rimuru asked, amused. "I was just talking to myself. Come, let us join the others," Myne suggested, her voice light. And so, Myne and Rimuru left after having a private conversation inside Rimuru's chambers. Rimuru's POV. I was currently in the middle of the banquet, enjoying the lively atmosphere. After having a talk with Myne about the various workings of Ehrenfest and their history, I was savoring the moment. "Rimuru, your food is extremely delicious. Will you share the recipes with us?" Gazel inquired, his tone hopeful. "Sorry, that is a trade secret," I replied, a playful smile on my face. "A shame. Also, this wine is extremely good. What is in there?" Gazel continued, his curiosity piqued. "It was made from the grapes of Eurazania. Recently, we managed to get a stable supply of it," I explained, pleased with the compliment. It's delicious. Will you sell it to us?" Gazel asked, his tone eager. "Of course. We will discuss the specifics later, I agreed, nodding. Raphael-san, can you please lower my poison tolerance? I requested, hoping to enjoy the wine. I learned this technique while having dinner with Ferdinand. He seemed to actually get intoxicated a bit despite having poison tolerance, so he told me that it was possible to lower it. This came as big news to me, as I wanted to actually taste alcohol, but my skill prevented it. Negative. Need not identified. Raphael replied, its tone firm. Come on, just a little bit, please, I pleaded, my tone hopeful. Negative. Need not identified. Raphael repeated, unwavering. Raphael, you really sound like someone who doesn't want me to have alcohol, I teased, my tone light. Negative. It is just your imagination. Raphael replied, its tone unchanged. There's your signature line. Please, just this once, I implored, my tone earnest. Don't blame me for the repercussions, Raphael conceded, its tone resigned. Yay, I got permission, I cheered, my excitement evident. After that, I got drunk along with the others and ended up with a splitting headache in the morning. Raphael-san, can you do something about this headache? I requested, my tone pained. Negative. Need not recognized, Raphael replied, its tone firm. Raphael-san, are you angry with me? I asked, my tone contrite. Negative. It is just your imagination, Raphael replied, its tone unchanged. Please, I am sorry. I will not do it again, I promised, my tone sincere. Fine. Raphael relented, its tone softening. Yea, I have been forgiven then you Raphael-sensei. My skills were activated, and I went outside to conduct business with the people who had come. After concluding their business, they left, and I returned to my desk when mine suddenly came in. I have received an ordinance from Ferdinand Sensei. The Ob of Ehrenfest has accepted and is coming to iron out the details. They will arrive in about 5 hours, Myne reported, her tone efficient. 5 hours? Isn't that a bit too fast? I asked, surprised. They are using their high beast to come, Myne explained, her tone matter of fact. They are an application of their mana, which was being used in their previous world. They create a beast of mana, which they use for travel, Myne elaborated, her tone informative. Interesting. I would like to see it for myself then. In the meantime, have you decided on your response to my offer? I inquired, my tone curious. I have thought about it and have come to a conclusion. I will follow your plan, but I want regular visits to be scheduled for my family and that you will protect my family and give them a source of livelihood here, Myne replied, her tone firm. I have no problem with that, but they will have to treat you as someone else in public. Is that acceptable? I asked, my tone gentle. It is. Ultimately, your offer is much more humane than the one which was being forced upon me before, Myne replied, her tone grateful. Ooh, I prompted, curious about her past experiences. To put it simply, because of the wealth of mana and knowledge from the previous world, I was told that I would be adopted by a noble family and then the Archduke. I was to not refer to them as family under any circumstances and act as a noble befitting one who ruled over the peasants, Myne explained, her tone somber. I can understand the Archduke adopting you, but why not allow you to have contact with your family? I asked, my tone puzzled. Simply put, it's the noble way of doing things. They don't care a bit about family and only care about how much mana you have. You will only be declared to the world after you are 7 years old, and if you have less mana, you will be kicked out of your family and need to work like an adventurer or a white priest in our cathedral in service to our god, Myne explained, her tone resigned. Wow, your traditions are messed up, like abandoning your child just because of their mana capacity, I remarked, my tone incredulous. I know, and so your offer is much more humane, as it will still allow me to be with my family and live with them till their inevitable demise, Myne replied, her tone grateful. Over there, I was being forced to accept it. Otherwise, my life was in danger, as many nobles wanted to kidnap me and pass me off as their daughter in public. I would be used as a concubine who gives birth to noble born of high mana who will be useful to the family and will be locked away for the rest of my life, Myne explained, her tone somber. The more I hear about it, the less I like your nobility structure, I replied, my tone disapproving. Very well, we will proceed, but I will prepare a test for the Ob, and should he pass, only then will he be allowed to adopt you. Otherwise, I will declare you Queen of Ehrenfest. Is that acceptable? I proposed, my tone firm. No, it's not. I don't know how to rule, Myne replied, her tone hesitant. Believe me, it will be easy, and you will also be able to declare your parents as your own parents in public as well, I assured, my tone encouraging. After some contemplation, she nodded her head, and we went out to prepare their welcome. Soy, is your investigation complete? I inquired, my tone efficient. Almost, sir. I have managed to gather all relevant information related to Ehrenfest and need a few more hours to complete my investigation, Soy reported, his tone efficient. Good. Do it quickly. I want that information before the delegation from Ehrenfest gets here, I instructed, my tone firm. Mine's Pav. I was leaving Rimuru's office, my mind preoccupied with thoughts of my sister, Tuli. I had heard that she had been practicing non-stop under Master Hakuro to improve her sword skills. I couldn't help but worry about her putting her life in danger because of me. Do you have any ideas on how to change her mind? I asked Ifrit, seeking his help and guidance. Not one, I am afraid, mistress. Besides, you should accept her love and dedication towards you. She is doing all of this for you so that she can stay with you forever by evolving into a high human. You will be lonely after your entire family is gone. I think you also have the right to be a bit selfish and support your sister, who is doing everything to repay you, Ifrit advised, his voice gentle and understanding. I know that, but still, I worry for her, I confessed, my heart heavy with concern. Then you can just watch her training today, Ifrit suggested, his tone encouraging. I think that is a good idea. Besides, I think I need to prepare myself to face my family. I think that I will ask Rimuru for advice, I mused, my mind made up. As you say, mistress, Ifrit replied, his tone supportive. I flew over to Hakuro-sensei's training camp, where he was training all his students. Most of them were lying flat on the ground, likely after challenging him and failing. Oh, hello there, Myne. What brings you here? Hakuro greeted me, his tone polite and welcoming. I just wanted to see how my sister Tuli is faring under your training, I replied, my curiosity piqued. Ah, your sister. She is one of the most dedicated students I have seen, and she is already very close to Gavta in terms of technique and skill. She is a true sword prodigy, if I say so myself, Hakuro praised, his voice filled with admiration. Where is she now? I asked, eager to see her progress. Preparing herself to face me off. It is her test to determine if she is ready to receive an actual sword or not, Hakuro explained, his tone serious. So it is a rite of passage, I mused, understanding the significance of the test. Yes, now let us wait for her to come. Why don't you hide yourself in the air so that you don't distract her? Hikuro suggested, his tone considerate. I think that is a good idea, I agreed, my tone thoughtful. And with that, I ascended into the sky, far enough so that she could not see me. I also concealed my mana so that she couldn't sense I was there, and I decided to watch from afar. Tuli arrived after some time, her body marked with bruises from training, but her expression was one of determination and resolve. I am ready, sensei, Tuli declared, her voice firm and unwavering. Very well, let's begin, Hakuro replied, his tone calm and composed. Tuli lunged forward towards Hakuro Dono, who stood there calmly, effortlessly avoiding all of Tuli's attacks. Is that all you have got? Hakuro taunted, his tone teasing. Not even close, sensei, Tuli replied, her voice filled with determination. The fighting heated up, and I noticed other people gathering to watch the show. Sir Benimaru, what are you doing here? I asked him, surprised by his sudden appearance. I was training the new recruits when I saw something interesting happening over here, so I came to see it. It seems she has really put a lot of effort into her technique, Benimaru replied, his tone approving. Really, all I see is that all of her attacks are dodged, and she is kicked back in return for her attempt, I observed, my tone skeptical. It may look like that to you, but Master is currently in a very good mood, and he is taking this fight seriously. I have trained under him, so I know his mood and the face he makes when he is in a good mood. Also, Tuli is not just lunging at him blindly. She is improving her technique each time she lunges at him, and her attacks are growing more polished, Benimaru explained, his tone knowledgeable. I watched with keen interest as the fight got more heated. Tuli used every card she had, but she was countered and kicked back effortlessly. Is that everything you have to offer? Hakuro taunted, his tone teasing. No, I still have one trick up my sleeve. Activate unique skill, Indomitable Will, Tuli declared, her voice firm. After activating her skill, all her wounds vanished, and she was coursing with energy. This is my last attack. Dodge this if you can, sensei, Tuli challenged, her voice determined. Ho ho ho, come, Hakuro replied, his tone amused. To the naked eye, it would seem like Tuli had disappeared, but in reality, she was moving at a speed too fast for the eye to follow. Here I go, Crestwater Slash, Tuli announced, her voice firm. Her attack was like that of a young river coming down from the mountains, aggressive and willing to cut everything that came in her way. I am pleased. You really managed to make me use my sword, Hakuro praised, his tone approving. Hakuro Dono effortlessly blocked her slash and kicked her back down. No, I couldn't land a hit on him, Tuli lamented, her voice filled with disappointment. Tuli was crying. I wanted to comfort her but refrained, not wanting to get in between a teacher and his student. You are 1,000 years too early to even graze me, but you have successfully completed my test. You pass, Hakuro declared, his tone approving. Tuli had a look of shock in her eyes. But I thought I needed to hit you to pass this test, Tuli replied, her voice incredulous. I only told you that you had to fight me. I never said you had to land a hit on me, did I? Hakuro explained, his tone teasing. So I pass? Tuli asked, her voice hopeful. Yes, you pass. You're one of my most brilliant and dedicated students I have seen. And I can't wait to see you grow, Hakuro praised, his tone approving. Tuli looked overjoyed and knelt on the spot. I am extremely honored, and thank you, sensei. I will continue to strive to improve my skills so one day I can protect my sister, Tuli declared, her voice firm. Does she really need to say that out loud? I am embarrassed, I thought, my tone amused. What is there to be embarrassed about? Your sister is growing stronger by the day. You should be proud of her, mistress, Ifrit advised, his tone gentle. You are right, I agreed, my tone thoughtful. Now, Tuli, it is time we go to our country's blacksmith to forge your new sword. But first, let us call our guests to come down, Hakuro suggested, his tone considerate. Guests? Tuli asked, her tone curious. Sister, what are you doing? I told you not to take it too seriously, I chided, my tone teasing. Myne, what are you doing here? I thought you were busy with Lord Rimuru, Tuli replied, her tone surprised. I was, but my work got completed, and I went to see you, only to see you fighting with Master Hikuro here. Didn't I tell you not to get hurt? I chided, my tone gentle. I don't want to hear that from someone who willingly pushes herself in front of the enemy and self-destructs, Tuli retorted, her tone teasing. Ah, she got me good. It hurts, I thought, my tone amused. Truth does hurt, mistress, Ifrit agreed, his tone teasing. In any case, you don't need to train so hard, I advised, my tone gentle. I do. I already know your life is immortal, and I don't want to leave you alone for the rest of eternity, Tuli replied, her tone firm. But, I protested, my tone hesitant. No buts. I am your older sister and have tolerated a lot of your selfish requests. It's time you tolerate mine, right? Tuli countered, her tone teasing. As you wish, sister, I conceded, my tone resigned. By the way, when will you tell mom and dad? Tuli asked, her tone curious. When they come here. I also want to have a serious discussion with all of you regarding my future, I replied, my tone thoughtful. Regarding how you will follow Rimuru's plan and get adopted by a noble family. Tuli inquired, her tone knowing. Oh, how do you know that? I asked, surprised. I am no fool. After the meeting between you and Lord Rimuru before the summit, I noticed you were down and pressed Lord Rimuru for answers. He relented after I pleaded with him and told me about your history and your current situation. Know this, Myne, wherever you go, I am not leaving you behind. You have already died twice, I will not let you die a third time, Tuli declared, her voice firm. Her words had an unusual calming effect on me. I am really lucky to have a sister like her. It seems I will not be left completely alone in the future, I thought, my heart swelling with gratitude. Tears were flowing down my eyes as all the pent-up stress came out in the front, and I did not care if there were other people around. Thank you, big sister, for looking out for me, I said, my voice filled with emotion. My emotional outburst was interrupted by Lord Rimuru who came down from the air. So Tuli has passed her test. Excellent. I have prepared a new sword for her with help from our expert blacksmith, Kurobi, Rimuru announced, his voice filled with pride. I was shocked to see Rimuru here. Tuli knelt down immediately and greeted him. It is nice to see you, Lord Rimuru. I thank you for giving me the chance to train under Hikuro-sensei. Because of which I will be able to fulfill my wish of protecting my sister, Tuli said, her voice filled with gratitude. Rimuru is fine, and please only do this greeting in public, Rimuru replied. He really didn't like being treated as a noble. As you wish, Lord Rimuru, Tuli agreed, her tone respectful. Now, here is your sword. I have used a unique type of metal to forge it, which I created. You will need to bond with your sword and become one with it to use it. Are you ready for the challenge? Rimuru asked, his tone encouraging and commanding. Yes, I am, Tuli replied, her voice firm. Rimuru handed over the sword to Tuli, who promptly knelt with the sword in her chest, ready to embrace her new path. Tuli's paw. Thank you, big sister, for looking out for me. My sister was crying in front of me. I had just passed my test, and I wanted Myne to know how much her actions meant to me. Did she really think I would leave her all alone in this world after everything she did for me? I didn't care if she was an otherworlder or not. Rimuru had shown me Myne's memories from her previous world on the condition that I did not reveal them to our parents. It was Myne's decision to reveal it to them, not mine, so I accepted. I saw how reckless she was in her previous life, as well as all her suffering when she left her previous mother behind. This gave me a newfound determination to keep her new life safe. So Tuli has passed her test. Excellent. I have prepared a new sword for her with help from our expert blacksmith, Kurobi, Lord Rimuru announced, his voice filled with pride. Lord Rimuru suddenly appeared, and I immediately knelt, as was customary in front of a ruler of a nation. It is nice to see you, Lord Rimuru. Thank you for giving me the chance to train under Hikuro-sensei. Because of which I will be able to fulfill my wish of protecting my sister, I said, my voice filled with gratitude. Rimuru is fine, and please only do this greeting in public, Rimuru replied, his tone gentle. As you wish, Lord Rimuru, I agreed, my tone respectful. Now, here is your sword. I have used a unique type of metal to forge it, which I created. You will need to bond with your sword and become one with it to use it. Are you ready for the challenge? Rimuru asked, his tone encouraging. This was the chance I had been waiting for, my very own sword, which I could use to protect my sister. I am honored, Lord Rimuru, and will strive to fulfill your expectations of me, I replied, my voice filled with determination. Hey now, I told you to reserve such formal speech when we are in public. Take a page from Myne over there, who treats me like any other person, Rimuru teased, his tone light. I will try, my lord, I promised, my tone earnest. Now bond with your sword, get to know it, and become one with it, Rimuru instructed, his tone encouraging. I knelt down and received the sword, starting to have a feel for it. It was not heavy, not light, perfectly suited for my weight. It was of medium height, and I could continue to use it even as I grew taller. I decided to unsheath the sword from the scabbard and take a few practice swings with it. It was perfectly suited to my body weight, and I could feel the sword as an extension of my body itself. This is a very nice sword, but it will get small as I grow older, right? Also, what is its name? I asked, my tone curious. No, this is a unique class sword that will change based on your body requirements, so you will be able to use it always, no matter your height. And since this is your sword, you can bond to it by giving it a name, Rimuru explained, his tone informative. I decided to look deep into my sword. It was beautiful and had a color of spring. I will name this sword Spring Saber, based on the green hue it has, I declared, my voice firm. Immediately, I felt mana being pulled out of me, and I felt a profound connection to my sword, like it was an integral part of me. Looks like you have bonded. Now you and only you will be able to use that sword and no one else, Rimuru confirmed, his tone approving. I put the sword at my hip and bowed down. Thank you for this gift, Lord Rimuru, I said, my voice filled with gratitude. No problem. You deserve it. Now, will you accompany your sister to guard her? We are having guests in about an hour, Rimuru asked, his tone gentle. Absolutely. This is exactly what I have been training for all my life, I replied, my voice filled with determination. Very well, let's go, Rimuru said, leading the way. As we walked, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and purpose. Myne and I exchanged a glance, and I knew that together, we could overcome anything. With Rimuru's guidance and support, I was confident that we would protect our home and our loved ones, no matter what.